What's up? What's up, everyone? Week two is in the books. It was a
Welcome,
strange one.
welcome.
It's a strange one. We got Devin again. Devin in the building. We got little
Hey.
Matt with us. Uh, Big Matt, he's on sabbatical or he's holding out or doing something. Not really sure. Um, but hopefully we can get him back soon. Yeah, man. All three of us lost this week.
It was it was
Unfortunate.
it, it was it was I'll say it was a brutal week for us three, but it
Yeah,
was an even more brutal week just for the league, man. Dude, these
yeah,
injuries are starting to get out of control. I mean,
yeah.
if Deshaun gets hurt, so be it. It's like the good guys are getting hurt, man. It's
Mhm.
like, well, Rodgers, whatever, but
And they're
Matt,
not even like, I don't know. They're like devastating injuries. They're
yeah,
not
it's brutal.
like,
Season ending and just like ones that'll linger.
yeah,
I
I
was
think,
forced to watch the Nick Chubb video, and that honestly, it looked like at his point in his
yeah,
career, because it's the same knee I heard that he messed up in college.
yeah,
That looks maybe career threatening. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be
I
tough
mean, he's
for him.
still on the right side of 30, but I would say it's definitely career altering.
Yeah,
I think he had a trajectory, maybe even to be a Hall of Famer, man. So it sucks that that happened to him.
and the way that he runs too, dude. It's just he uses his legs. It's just a power back, man.
Yeah.
So it's
He's
gonna be tough.
averaged 5 yards a carry his entire career.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
That's
tough.
not Hall of Fame. I don't know what is.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure we'll hit that more later on in the show, though.
yeah. We're just gonna jump right into these power rankings. Little Matt just keeps walking
Just,
up and
just,
down.
dude,
I
sit
have
the
I have a cat that is destroying everything. I'm sorry.
Well, look, you just have to make a decision, man.
You're destroying this podcast right now. I don't even know why Sergio invited you on here. He texted me and I was just like, whoa, whoa, like two
Yeah.
questions. Why? And then the second question, what the fuck are you thinking? And you are proving me right now.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
So,
I
Devin,
have nothing to say.
I figured strategically it'd be best to just get it over with. It's like a band-aid, like just rip it off. Let's get it done early in the season. We don't have to hear or see him
I
ever
mean,
again,
I will,
maybe.
I will allow this because I know every one of y'all are upset that I have a legit chance to whoop y'all's asses again this year. So it's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll take it because last time I won, y'all tried to completely blank it out your minds, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
whatever.
so I don't have the capability of muting you, so that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I have it
No,
locked and
you
ready
got
to
to
go
listen to
in
me.
case
Good.
we need to use it. But yeah, we all lost. We I don't have any of us at number 12 this week. Number 12, I have Mark once again. He's gonna stay at the bottom. He's got 175 total points. He's averaging 87.5 a game. Um, Definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of 100. Definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of 90. Um, it's not looking good. Some of his pieces are just not living up, and Derek Carr put up a stinker. So
Yeah. And I think I don't know from what I've seen, hopefully Kamara changes that for Carr, but I mean Madison too. He made the trade for Madison and
yeah,
whatever. I thought it was kind of an interesting trade on his part. I guess I get why he did it. I think he should have held strong a little bit longer
mm-hmm.
and kept Kelsey and Jacobs and just see, but now, you're it's going to be tough, man. You got
Yeah.
Odell. I don't know what's going on with him and his ankle, but
They're
I mean,
saying it's a minor ankle issue, but I mean anything with Odell, I wouldn't put the
yeah,
word minor in front of
right.
any
Yeah.
injury. So
He's old,
that's
man. So,
worrisome. I
yeah.
mean, some signs of hope. I mean, DK is off to a pretty good start. Um, and then some good luck, I guess, with the Deontay injury that Pickens is able to, you know, get more production. And
Yeah.
Mostert has is the clear lead back in one of the best offenses. So
Yeah.
it's not all bad. It's just he hasn't been able to put it together.
Yeah.
Um,
It's mostly bad.
We'll
yeah,
we'll get into the matchups later.
yeah,
But this week might be, you know, his one, his best chance so far this season to maybe squeak out a W with his opponent, also reeling with some injuries. So we'll get there later, but we'll see.
Yeah. Number 11, I have Eli at number 11. Eli has 195 total points. He's averaging 97.5. So Eli is coming up a little bit short. He didn't have Eckler this week, so that definitely hurt his chances in what was mostly, it looked like it was going to go his way. Most of the day, it looked like he was going to be able to pull it out against Ross. So
yeah. Eli's had some bad luck since joining the league. I mean, when you look at his team, I looked at him more as number 10 than 11. But when you look at his team, it's not that bad. Joey B just had a rough start like they always do. I mean, Bijan is incredible. Tyler Lockett had a rough week 1. Same with Christian Kirk, but they both bounced back big. So, I mean, he has the pieces to make trades.
Yeah, he does. He does. But, a big thing, Burrow will see better days. He's got Bijan, Eckler. He'll be back. But again, Burrow, I think he's at a real risk to miss this week. So, goes with Purdy, and he has been unlucky. But he's got core pieces that he could turn it around at some point, dude. It's how he's so.
For sure.
I think last year he was towards the bottom most of the year, wasn't he? And then he made a run towards the end of the year last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, streaks are definitely able to be had. So like it's never truly over. But Burrow's not looking like he may be a go this week. I like that he has Kittle, so he can have the Purdy Kittle stack. I mean, that can hit or not, but I'm not liking what I see out of AJ Dillon. Aaron Jones is going to come back, and he didn't do anything without him. So, that's kind of worrisome. Yeah. Bijan's a stud. That backfield is I mean, they're just going to get tons of looks. Other than that, I mean, the Lockett Kirk thing, that's not going to happen every week, man.
No, it won't.
They're in offenses that they're going to spread it around, and I don't know if it's sustainable. They're at best 2 wide receiver 2s. So
I think they'll be kind of steady. I don't think they'll disappoint him as bad as they did in week 1. I think they'll be more along the lines of a 7 to 10 point weeks on some of their bad weeks. Don't be in a real playoff contender, So, he, like I said, he has the pieces though. Maybe he can flip George Kittle, flip Tyler Lockett, do something with those players after those big weeks, and see what he can get. I would try to go for some running backs.
Yep.
I would think he needs.
Yep. Eli, if you're listening, man, just stay in there, man. But you may have to make some moves. All right, entering our top 10, our third 0-2 team. I have Brian at number 10, man. Brian had a devastating.
Talk about bad luck. Brian includes Saquon and Nick.
Yeah, in the same week. Saquon's looks a little better, obviously, but it's for someone that drafted 4 running backs. I guess this is a good scenario, but also you're really thin at receiver, so this could hurt. This could have some impact long term.
Yeah, Jamar Gibbs, he's had kind of a slow start. Montgomery going down could help him, so that's big for him. Michael Pittman's had a better season than I thought he would have had. Zay Flowers has had a good season than I thought he would. He's been balling. Drake London, you saw what he can do. Pacheco is he's solid, and Tony, man, it's what he can do. So it's not all bad for Brian. He and you said, the Saquon thing, it's not a season ender. They're saying, I saw today that they were saying he's a game time decision for Thursday, which I think is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But I'm just saying, it's he might not even go on IR. So I think he should and not rush him back. But you know, it might not be that bad. So I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I worry about Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely worried about him. We'll see, man. Drake London scored, so I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's a thing, you know, after his
yeah.
week one performance. So we'll see, man. I don't know if he's got him in the lineup or not yet, but I got him at number 10. Our last 0-2 team, Devin, I got you at number 9, man. I gave you the slight edge over Brian. You just scored a couple more points, a little bit more competitive, but that
so
seems like
I'll
the
go
right
here.
place. Yeah.
I don't like to use excuses, but it did hurt me with Jamal going down as early as he did because
Yeah,
you saw what he did. You saw the game plan. I mean, I don't know if he would have scored 2 touchdowns, but I mean, Najee Harris didn't do shit, and I'm very, very, very confident that Jamal would have outscored him, and I'd be sitting here 1-1. But hey, it's fantasy; it happens, and I'm 0-2, staring 0-3 down in the face. Tough opponent this week. Then at running back, and I'm going to just say this right now. I'm very worried about my team.
Yeah,
I'm very worried about my team.
So, Devin, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Devontae Smith stealing AJ Brown's thunder for the first couple of games? Are you worried about AJ? Is it the Devontae show this year?
I mean, it was kind of the Devontae show last year. The thing is that AJ Brown was scoring touchdowns, and if he doesn't score touchdowns, Devontae will outproduce him, outscore him.
I agree.
Better fantasy asset. Now, what I think, and again, we'll get into a later segment of bounce backs and all that. You saw the little tiff that he had with Jalen on the sideline, and I'm calling it right now. He's going for 202 this week. I'm calling it right.
That little rift, I didn't really put too much into it. Like
no, not that. I don't think it was a fight. I'm not saying anything, but squeaky wheel, man. You know what I mean? He wants to be involved more, and I think you get him involved. You know, I mean, he's your guy. He's a dude. He's a man. You know, he's a brave. You know, so get him going, man. Let's go.
He's passionate.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of your guys, I'm not as worried about. I'm not as worried about AJ. I do have some concern for Justin. I have some concern.
I'm very, very concerned with that. Yeah,
because of the inability to take that next step, which everyone thought this was the year that he takes that, and it didn't even need to be like that.
He has
Jalen Hurts leap, but like brought in DJ Moore last year. You sent the draft pick for Chase Claypool. Like he's got pieces, man. Like I like Roshan. They brought in Foreman. Like it's like it's on you now, man. And like I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Hopefully it translates like
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. And look, I feel like I had one of the picks of the draft last year with getting Jalen where I did, and I honestly that was my game plan this year. Was I thought Justin was going to do the same thing, and it is not. It's but you know what the thing is that he had a really bad start to the season last year, and what did they do? They said, "Hey, let's do what you're good at. Let's run the ball." And he hasn't done it yet. And if they keep losing like this, then I feel like they're going to eventually have to get back to that.
It's weird. It's weird how that's playing out because last year they lost like the last 13 games, but he did awesome in fantasy. And then I think they started like 2-1 or like 3-1 or something. Like they started out kind of hot, and then they went on that losing streak. And now to start 0-2, and it's not looking very good as far as real football.
I think they're going to get Justin Fields more involved in the run game. I think they have no choice at this point because, I mean, that's your best chance to win. He's clearly not getting it done with his arm. Like, you have to slow the game down. And so I think, or at least give him the chance to just make plays. So I think he'll be all right.
He's got about another week or two, and then I might have to make some adjustments if things don't turn around for him. So,
but just to end on a good note, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Addison. I mean, Puka has been doing crazy, record-breaking things, and it's looking like Devontae is going to be able to play. He didn't get hit with the concussion. So entering week 3, I think you're in a good spot to be okay. But I don't think Jamal Williams is going to be playing anytime soon.
No, he's out. So yeah, I gotta go back to the drawing board with
Got to
that.
look for a running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number eight, might be a little surprising just based on record, but at number 8, I have Dave. Like, look, I know he's 2-0, but he's under 100 points total. He's got 199 total points. He's averaging 99.5. He beat Mark, who's at the bottom of the league. I'm not impressed. And honestly, he was saved by the DeAndre Swift performance because Mark probably would have got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen every week. You know that.
He got lucky the first 2 weeks because didn't Kyle only score like 80-some points week 1, too?
Yeah, Dave scored 76 or 77 to Kyle's 75 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a really low scoring game. So, and then Kyle obviously blew up and whooped my ass this week. But like Dave has, I don't know why he's scoring so low. I mean, he has some pieces, but it's the flex. When I look at it, like JSN, the rookie, hasn't, really hit his stride yet. Elijah Moore, DJ Chark. I mean, Amari, give credit to him. Amari Cooper did end up playing last night, even though he wasn't supposed to, which is kind of crazy. So he left him on his bench. Yeah, I mean, he could have used him, so that would have at least helped in the points aspect.
True.
In my opinion, that was the right call, dude. Whenever you hear somebody's out all week and then all of a sudden, hey, you're gonna play, like I can't lie, I would have sat him too, dude, because I'd have been afraid of Goose. That I don't really fault him for that, honestly. But
yeah, but the thing is, something like this could happen again with maybe DeAndre 1 week, and so to his plug and play players like Peoples Jones, DJ Chark, like that's a straight up like dart throw. Like it's just not enough. They're not getting enough targets to be able to be like fantasy relevant.
Yeah.
So, and we all know about CMC's.
He's
like,
living.
CMC's like very fragile. So like,
yeah.
But good for Dave. He's got
off of CMC right.
He got 2 wins under his belt, so he's got a little bit of breathing room. But he's just not scoring that many points. Number 7, have Matt at 1-1. Not you, Matt, other Matt. He's got 238 points. He's outscoring Dave, but he's got 40 more points than Dave. He's got Tyreek Hill. He's got Jalen. He's got Tua. Like Matt's got a pretty decent team. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes together. And his flexes are kind of doing better than I thought they were. Like Marquise Brown, Juju. I wasn't very high on them just because of their situations.
Yeah, Marquise Brown didn't do anything week 1. I haven't really been paying too much attention to Juju, but I mean, I guess that's good flex plays. That's what a flex is for. You're not expecting to get top 12 to 24 production every week. You're just hoping they put up 10 points. You know what I mean? If you 10 points out of we're playing 3 flex. If you could get 10 points out of each of your second 2 flexes, man, you're living good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I am a little bit concerned about Najee. I'm ringing the alarm. I mean, that's pretty much a committee now. Like Jalen Warren has earned the right to get half of those touches. Breece Hall's also in a committee. So like that's kind of concerning. Dallas Goedert's kind of been in the same boat as AJ Brown, like he kind of lives by a little bit of the touchdown to become fantasy relevant. He's kind of had it down first 2 games. So those are a couple things I'm concerned about with Matt. But he's got a player that can cover up a lot of deficiencies that could go for 40 or 50 in Tyreek Hill. For sure. And also even Jalen. So
Yep.
No, I actually really like Matt's team. I would like him a little higher. I mean, I just think he has like players that will maybe catch fire a little bit later. Like he's starting slow, and the fact that he's 1-1, he has Jalen Hurts, who has been slow but has kind of been Jalen. James Cook has looked nice. I think tight end really is his biggest area of concern for me. I would have maybe tried to pick up somebody on the waiver. I think there's still a couple guys that are much better than Kyle Pitts at least has been for the last few years. So
yeah, did I say Goddard?
He's really good.
Who has Goddard? Who am I thinking about?
I don't know why you say
Me,
God.
I have Goddard.
Oh, well, that's why. That's because I'm in my head. I'm just foreshadowed who the next player is. I jumped
Yeah.
the gun, but yeah, Pitts. Pitts is officially a bust in my book.
Yeah,
Officially
for
a
sure.
bust.
Officially, wow,
Officially off of
And
him.
and it's
Bust.
that's crazy.
it sucks
broke-
because he's not the problem. It's
Yeah,
the quarterback and
agree.
coaching staff. You put him on, you know,
The Saints.
25 other teams in the league, 25, maybe 31 other teams in the league, and he's easily a top 5 tight end in my
Bro,
opinion.
imagine him with Bill Belichick.
I mean, dude, imagine him with fucking Joe fucking Schmo. You know what I mean? Anybody
Yeah.
other than Arthur Smith or whatever the fuck his
I mean,
name is. Like,
he-
Trapped with Patrick Mahomes.
yeah, exactly.
He broke
I
the
mean,
record that was there for like what 60 plus years with Mike Ditka. Like that's crazy, and the fact that like
but hey, guess what? They're fucking 2-0. They're winning, so
yeah,
he's
it's working for him.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
no,
I think that's the saying. I don't know.
Mac Hollins. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, top 6. These are the teams I have in the playoffs right now. Top 6 teams. I gave the other team the edge. Sorry, little Matt, but he did beat you pretty nicely this week. I got little Matt at 6.
All right, I'm gonna go.
oh, I
take a
disagree
restroom.
with that.
I'm going to take a
That's-
restroom break real quick while y'all
That's
talk
a-
about this.
That's a farce.
Fuck your team, fucker.
That's foolish. You have me at 6. That's
I have you
you
at
lost
6.
all credibility.
All right,
I mean,
plead
I have-
your case.
I mean, for one, just going off of numbers, I'm projected at 146. I had a bad week. It happens in fantasy. I mean, I have the number 2 running back right now in Kyron Williams. I have Ken Walker, who's also the top 12 running back. I have besides Jamar Chase, I have 4
So
three
we're looking. This is
3 wide receivers.
these are
Go
the
ahead.
power rankings heading into week 3. This is
I know,
based
but
off
the
of
fact
your
that I was
week
number
1,
3
week 2.
last week, and I was number 3 last week, and you have me dropping 3 spots to the highest scoring team in the week, I think that's ridiculous. I really do, and I think that's the pure hater coming out of you right now, and you let the Matt Harris infect your brain and Devin, because you know damn well I am not the 6th best team in this league.
Dude, shut the fuck
It's a
up,
fact.
bruh.
I have it at number
I am a
6, bro.
top 3 team in this league right now.
All right,
After
so
after shitting the bed the last 2 years, I was terrible. My team is a top 3 team.
I can hear your fucking hogwash from the fucking bathroom, dude.
I don't
Why don't
really
you chill
care.
a little bit, all right?
You just go try to win a game first, Devin. Jesus, shut up. So
all right,
mean,
so
try
you
to
said
Try to
your
make the
piece.
playoffs, dude. Try
You
to make the
said-
fucking playoffs. How about
You
that?
said
I
your
will make
piece.
the playoffs.
You
How
said your
about you try to
piece.
win something first, Mr.
All right.
Always second place?
Let's reel it in. Getting a little emotional. Matt, I had to drop you, man. I couldn't put you above Kyle after Kyle's performance. Okay.
It's not even that. It's the fact that you have Vincent ahead of me.
Well, Vincent won his game, man. He's undefeated.
But he's very Dave territory. Like he's undefeated, but like
He outscored you.
okay, but his running backs right now are like nothing. He got lucky. He was living off of 3 players, and that can happen.
I'm not saying this is how the rankings are going to end. This
I
is
know I'm
the
not saying that,
rankings
but I'm
based off
saying
of week 2. And
just off of 1 week, he doesn't jump that high. His team isn't that good. Even his week
all right,
wasn't
we're
that good.
getting derailed here. We're gonna move on.
Look, let me dive into it real quick and be all serious here. Kirk Cousins not going to put up 40 points a week. Okay, facts. All right,
Jared Goff, I don't need him to.
just shut the fuck up and listen. All right, Jamar Chase,
Go
he will
ahead.
see better days. He will see better days. You got that. St. Brown, I mean, he is him. Devontae Smith, he is him. Brandon Ayuk, he's hurt. Is he going to play? I don't know. Miles Sanders hasn't been doing much lately. Go there, hasn't been doing much lately. I see what you're saying. You do have a good team, man. Nobody is denying.
No one's
right?
denying that.
No one is
Yeah.
denying that. No one. That's not what we're saying. But
Yeah,
we're
You want
just
me to
saying-
say you're a contender.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. That's not. But I just disagree with the fact that I'm number 6. That's fine. I
I'm
mean,
sure a lot of
and you
I'm sure a
also
lot of
left out
people.
that I have Kyron Williams, who could possibly win me this league right now.
Yeah. I mean, he could, but I'm sure a lot of people are upset with their rankings. Nobody's ever, you're not ever going to be
Not
happy. So
okay.
listen. Grow
Y'all
up,
invited me
respect your
on.
elders. Let's move on.
I don't have no. Go
Okay.
win.
All right, moving on. Number 5, the rightful number 5, and that's Kyle. Put up 172 points. Across the board, he outperformed you at every position. So except tight end, but that was only by 2 points. He's got Josh Allen, elite quarterback. White, Moss went off for 20. I'm not in love with his running backs. I'll just say that right now. But White, this is like what White needs to do every once in a while to be able for Kyle to be successful. Lamb and Allen are elite fantasy options right now. So I like that. And his flex compared to some of the other guys in the league, his flex is decent. He's got a nice set of flex players that are if they give him 10 points, like Kyle can do something. This is probably going to be Kyle's highest scoring output for sure. I don't know if he matches this, but if you take a peek down below, Jonathan Taylor's coming.
A-Chain was getting some work.
And Kyle just scored almost 100 more points than he did in week 1. So in my opinion, he's somewhere in the middle. He's somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah, and you can't deny somebody that just put up 172 points.
No, I was never denying Kyle. Kyle, respect to him. He just beat my ass.
All right, we're not talking about your team anymore. But so this is my thing. The Rachaad White, Zach Moss, don't think either of them are, elite running backs, but what they are the lone survivors on their teams, right? They are the clear-cut number ones, nothing really behind them, okay? Yeah. CD, Keenan, elite. Zach Ertz, look, he's old, he's boring, but he just catches the ball, right? Mm-hmm. So, and like you said, the 10-point thing, going back to the flex, his flexes are like that, and he's got 3 of them. He's got 3 flexes that are boom or bust. Like any 3 of those dudes can win him a week. All 3 of them can go off in the same week, and those are his 3 flexes.
Plus, I would probably lean Chris Godwin a little bit more towards safe than boom or bust. Treylon Burks is boom or bust, and DJ Moore has been known he doesn't find the end zone for one. Right. So but Godwin's a pretty safe set it and forget it. Like Godwin, you're never gonna bench Godwin. He's like matchup proof.
Just question, what's your definition of boom or bust? Because I'm looking at Treylon Burks stats. He only put up 4 in week 1 and he put up 10 last week.
Well, he's busted 2 weeks in a row, but what he can do is any given week, he could put up 30 by catching 2 50, 60-yard passes. I mean, that's what he was drafted for. And, he can.
They also brought in DeAndre Hopkins for a reason.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
I like I said, all respect to Kyle. Kyle, if you watch this, you kicked my ass, dude. Like you did.
Look, Treylon Burks is a very solid 3rd flex option.
Yeah.
It's slim pickings right now, and it's gonna only get slimmer. He's okay. Treylon Burks is okay. He could do a whole lot worse. I don't love it, but it is what it is.
Right.
And based on his other team, is the rest of his players the week 1 Josh Allen, he doesn't have to play the Jets every week, guys. Like Josh Allen is a dog. He's gonna finish top 3. So 25 to 35 points every week is pretty much guaranteed. So
I just my thing is I guess y'all believe in the running backs a little bit more than me, even JT. Just because my thing with JT is he's seeing what happened to these other running backs, Saquon, Nick Chubb, and he's already been hesitant to come back in the first place. He may get a bruise and then sit out the rest of the season.
Yeah, but JT, if healthy, bro, he's got way more elusiveness. He can break tackles. He's
massive.
I don't think if he plays this year, I don't think it's with the Colts. I think he gets traded. That's
I
my
mean,
thing.
they've already said that they want like a first round pick or something like that. Or
Hey,
And
they
look,
look how
look,
much
crazy
dude,
offer to
running
the
backs are
Dolphins.
dropping like
exactly,
flies, bro.
Yeah, but
exactly, and they have
who's
some
going to
serious.
send a first round pick?
They have serious
Listen,
contending teams that can
it's not going
contend
to
for a
happen.
Super
See,
Bowl that have
Dude,
got their running backs hurt.
God
That will
forbid,
pay a
what
first
if
round pick.
you tell me,
CMC
Jerry,
didn't even go for a first round pick. CMC went for a second round pick, I think a third and some late round picks.
but all that
So, and
collectively
he's not
equals
CMC.
But
What?
listen,
all of that
the
equals
Cowboys.
what that player deserves. Like that's the
Listen,
grade.
let me ask you this: what happens if Tony Pollard gets hurt for the Cowboys? Do you not
Jerry
think
Jones.
Jerry Jones is going to call them and say, "I will"? Because listen, a first round pick, if you're thinking that you're going to be a Super Bowl contender, is the last pick in the draft. If that's not worth a top 5 running back in the league, not fantasy, in the league, when healthy, I mean, somebody will do that. Somebody will.
I'm not saying he won't get traded. I'm just saying it's the asking price. Unless they come down on the asking price, I don't know.
I think somebody will pay that as the season goes on. If they have an elite running back that goes down and they are a serious contender.
Some question marks for JT, but overall, Kyle's at number 5 this week. He had a really good week. He won the bonus, high scoring quarterback. But I have him a little bit just by a tad behind me. I have myself at number 4. Tough loss. I got a 0 from Zay Jones that really, really hurt me. But they were working Kelsey back in slowly. I see better days ahead for me. The Montgomery injury at first had me worried, but it's looking like it's not going to be as bad as what everyone first thought. So that's my one area of concern is Josh Jacobs isn't really doing too much right now. So, but my receivers are balling. So like, and then
so y'all are gonna hate this, but I would just like to point out the bias in these rankings because you scored 4 points more than me, but you're a whole 2 points, spots ahead of me.
Yeah.
How?
I'm averaging more than you.
Okay.
You scored 244. I've scored 249.
So you scored 5 points more than me.
Yeah, and we have the same
but
record.
You didn't drop it's cool. It's the disrespect. It's all right.
I lost to the defending champion. You act like I
lost to the highest scoring team probably in the season, maybe.
Would you put up this past week? No, you know what? I don't care. This isn't the Matthew stupid idiot.
It is actually. This is the Matthew show. It's probably the only time I'm going to come on this season until I win. So yeah, I'm going to make it last. It's going to be memorable.
Oh God, Devin, please just give me an analysis so we can just go to bed.
Go ahead, get your analysis.
I'll give you an analysis. What I'm looking at right now is that you have 2 empty roster spots, and I'm still only projected to beat you by like 6 points. So I think you're gonna be all right. I think you're gonna have a nice bounce back week here. Like you said, Diggs, he's balling. Mike Evans, dude. All right. Here's something. I don't know if y'all know this, but I heard this in the past couple of days. I thought was interesting. So the same, I think it's the quarterback's coach or the offense coordinator for Tampa is the same as that Geno had last season. Okay. So is it a coincidence that Geno had this bounce back year? And Geno's not looking great. Now Baker's just all of a sudden balling. I mean, he's balling, you know?
He is,
I mean, he's got, I mean, you can't say anything like Geno doesn't have anybody to throw it to. He's got weapons all over. And
look, the Bucs also the Bucs didn't pay the man. Like he's out there trying. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
And look, I think Mike Evans has a chip on his shoulder too, because every single year people just forget about him, dude. Forget that he just is always 1,000 yards and 10+ touchdowns every season of his career.
Mr. Consistent.
Yes.
In my opinion, he doesn't have to play a down in football ever again, and he's already Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
1,000%. And you heard the rumors before the season started that he's kind of looking to get out of there. So I think he's looking for one more contract. So he's trying to ball out, man. He's trying to.
A great scenario I can see, and just based on what I've seen, I know they don't have any money because they just paid him $250 million. But man, him on the Chiefs would just be incredible.
Yeah,
But
they could probably find a way to work it out.
that's wishful thinking. But
Yeah.
it's been a pleasant surprise. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's sustainable. Godwin's going to have some better weeks.
Yeah.
The Baker will probably do some Baker things. But
guess what? But guess what? He's filling in for somebody very important that you'll be getting back in a few weeks.
exactly.
Which is Mr. Cooper Cup. So, Serge, your team, I've talked to you about it. You making the additions of Kelsey. Josh Jacobs has been looking a little rough. He's going to have a tough matchup this week against Pittsburgh. That's just the Raiders are just not looking great. But Herbert, I think they're going to figure some things out with him, and I think they're going to start going down the field a little bit more, and which is that's his game, and that'll only help Mike Williams. So
I mean, they've lost twice, but he's still top 5 fantasy quarterback right now, and I feel like it could be so much better.
Brandon Staley is my leading candidate to be the if it's not McDaniels or whatever for the Raiders, he's like my number 2 to get fired midseason as a head coach. Brandon
Staley needs to be gone immediately.
Yeah. Like that shit's just they're too talented on both sides of the ball to just not. And it's always those clutch spots, dude. They always lose in a clutch.
Are they 0-2, the Chargers?
Yeah, 0-2, dude.
Damn.
0-2.
And they got the Vikings this week, which means one of those two teams is going to be 0-3, which is crazy. I think that's going to be like a fantasy bonanza, bro.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. That game's going to be high scoring.
Yeah. I placed my bets on the Chargers if Staley is the coach. I think they're going to find a way to mess it up somehow.
All right, I'll move on from my team. I feel good about it. Like you said, Cup's coming, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
I'm moving on.
So, little Matt, I know you disagree that I am ranked ahead of you, but are you thinking that I'm not a top 4 team right now?
No, it's honestly the biggest just shocker and disagreement is the fact that you have Vincent as a top 4 team. Like that's where the biggest shock of all comes to me.
Well, number 3, I do have Vincent at number 3.
That's shocker.
Look, Vincent's undefeated, man. I know his running back situation is what it is, but
terrible.
He outscored you, and he got 0 points from his RB2. Like, look, he still has Waddle. He's got Debo. He's got Mahomes. Like, somehow Vincent, he finds a way, bro. Like, I don't know. Since he's joined the league,
Vincent won't make the playoffs, but I think after like did he score like 120 last week? I don't remember him scoring that highly last week. Did he? I could be wrong.
He's averaging 120.5, which 120 is like if you're averaging 120, you have a shot every week.
No, yeah, that's true. Okay.
I thought he scored. Unless you're me.
No, I was right. He scored only 107 in week 1, and he scored 130, 104 last week. So that kind of skewed it a little bit more. I think he's closer. I mean, if you want to use like the Kyle analogy, like, I think he's probably closer more to that 115-ish. I don't think his team is built to last. That's why I get you're talking about right now.
But these are not end of season rankings.
I'm not saying that.
What are you not getting about that?
Like cutting me off. After 1 week, that 1 week wasn't impressive enough. I would have put Kyle above him, like scoring that much. That's what I'm saying. I don't get the Vincent ranking.
But he's undefeated. That's the point.
He's undefeated, and his week 1 wasn't nearly as bad as Kyle's, bro. Like,
I think he's very Dave. Like, he's just been a little bit more lucky.
Look, the last 2 years, I've doubted Vincent. I haven't been impressed with his drafting, and I'm pretty much not doubting him anymore, man. I put some regression. I thought that at some point it's going to have to fall down to earth, but it's not yet. And so right now he's a top 3 team, in my opinion.
All right, let's get it going.
Yeah, number two. I did a swap right here, guys. I put Al at number 2. He was able to sneak one out against me, man. Don't like his quarterback. I think I made that very clear. But his team is just
with juice.
They get it done, man. Like, look, they're not really that exciting. Like James Conner, Damian Pierce, Higbee, Sutton. Like if it's a very boring team other than Jefferson.
Mhm.
That's
But
how his teams always are, though. And he
always, bro,
always wins.
always. Look,
We were talking about that before we started recording. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Al start bad in fantasy.
no,
Like,
dude, Al he's cracked the code, man, of consistency. He's got back-to-back 10-win seasons. He started 2-0. I just bumped him just because I'm slightly more impressed with Ross thus far.
Yeah, look, Al's got Tony Pollard balling, Justin
Mhm.
Jefferson balling. I think Henry, he's going to get churning, he's going to get it going, and you know what happens when it gets cold outside? The Yeti forms, and the Yeti runs motherfuckers over. So that's going to be dangerous.
Mhm.
Higbee, they don't have much. Once Cooper Kupp comes back, Higbee might fall off a little bit.
That's been kind of surprising to me. I thought that Higbee would be the recipient of Cooper Kupp's injury,
Yeah,
and turns
or
out
Puka.
it's
Yeah,
Puka and Tutu.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's weird.
shout out to Tutu finally coming on, too, after like kind of 2 slow years.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Seems to like McVay seems to like him, unlike Cam Akers. But
Weird. That's weird all around.
yeah, Al's got the best player in fantasy, position
Maybe,
player. So like,
maybe the best wide receiver and running back with Tony Pollard.
yeah.
So yeah,
And I mean, it's a pretty good week, man. He beat a good team. It stung a little bit, but Al got number 2. Moving on to Ross, man. Ross put up another nice output. I thought, look, what we talked about last week, we said the Jags don't play good, Ross loses.
Yeah,
And the Jags didn't play good, and he won.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
impressive.
Now I will
and
say
it was led by the
nobody.
Commanders, bro. This little
Yeah,
duo of Terry and Brian Robinson. I was not expecting that.
No. I
no.
mean, I guess you can say because he got shot last year, he didn't look that explosive, obviously. But
Mhm.
like, dude, he looks I've seen highlights. He looks almost like a completely different player from last year. He looks impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson still handing him a good game, and then you know what he's got coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, another
There's
pleasant
Alvin
surprise
Kamara.
too, man. I have to say, and he called it. It was Nico Collins, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's a good call. Like we were all kind of hating on his draft. Like I mean, it's working for him, and it looks like the Jaguars will be somewhat consistent. They had a bad week last week, but like I think they'll be much better. I think that's probably one of their worst performances.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, tough one for Eli to swallow. Like I said earlier, he led for most of it, but man, Commanders brought it home for Ross this week. So that wraps up our top 12. All right, guys, let's. I got some questions for y'all, man. We're gonna go back and forth here. I'm gonna pose some questions, see what y'all got. We may have already touched on some of them, so let's just try and keep it brief, get through this. Little Matt, what team impressed you the most this week?
So most impressive team was, I know I was just hating on him, was Vincent. I mean, he did have the win and he did it with absolutely nothing at running back. So I mean, to do that, you're 2-0. I think he still definitely needs to make moves. I don't think he'll last that way, but to be 2-0, it gives you a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, what you think, Dev?
I got to go, Kyle. I mean, highest scoring team, literally every position just went off.
Yeah.
He put Mac in, made the right call on that, and just, I mean, like I said, highest scoring team, highest score of the season so far. So easily Kyle for me.
Yeah,
I just
for
thought
me, it was
Kyle's team was a little bit more impressive. That's why I didn't say him. Like I thought his team was kind of good before then.
yeah, but for me, the reason why I give Kyle the edge is because obviously luck is and plays a part of this, but like if Chubb and Saquon don't go down, Vincent doesn't win. So for me, it was kind of more Vincent won a little bit on the lucky side, more than like Kyle was just impressive. So for me, it's also Kyle.
Yeah.
But Devin, what player surprise you the most this week?
So the player that surprised me the most, there's two. So this is a toss up. I'd say Swift because I don't think anybody really saw that coming. I certainly did not. Uh, it was. I mean, what can you say? I mean, he dude balled out. You know what I mean? We've all been waiting for it. We know he can do, but I don't even think anybody knew he could do that. And then my other one was T. Higgins, man, because Cincinnati hasn't done anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've been looking horrible. And the dude
Mhm.
just balled out, man. Like
Balled out.
after putting up a goose egg, a donut last week.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And we talked about that last week. We brought him up, and he was actually a candidate to have a good bounce back. We said, and me as a T. Higgins owner, I told y'all that he does this, from time to time, but
Yeah.
he finds a way to be top 20 at the end of the season. So he's on his way. But what you thought, little man?
So my most impressive player, I'm gonna show some love to myself, was Kyron Williams. I mentioned him a couple of times already. This was a guy that, I mean, I picked him up on the waiver, honestly, with all intentions of him just being maybe a slot-in starter guy, hopefully for the rest of the year. But I mean, he's RB2 this year, and Cam Akers was a healthy scratch. He looks like he could be a guy for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then he put up
Uh,
two touchdowns against the best defense, arguably in the league, the 49ers. So
I mean,
that's
it's been a
impressive.
big surprise. I mean, you could also go on Puka, like two Rams players, super surprising.
Yeah, I thought about
Um,
Puka as well.
Yeah. My guy was Swift as well. I'm not going to repeat what Devin said. But if I had to put another one, it's one of my guys, and that was Zay Jones, man, on the bad side. I know he's not like expected to do stuff, but like a double zero is not what I thought. And if you watch the game, he should have had two touchdowns.
I thought he got hurt though. Did he not get hurt?
He got hurt. He got hurt a little bit, but Trevor Lawrence overthrew it twice. He caught it in the end zone, and they both were ruled out of bounds. So
really?
it could have been an 18-point performance, and it went sideways. So for me, it was Zay Jones, a little bit of surprising. A little Matt. What team are you most concerned about?
Mine is definitely Brian, and it's very clear why he lost Saquon and he lost Nick Chubb. And honestly, this was a guy. Well, he didn't lose Saquon for the whole year, but I mean, he lost Nick Chubb obviously for the whole year. Saquon, it may be just a week. I mean, but it's an ankle sprain. You never know. So I just think that really hurts him, especially when a team like him that was his strength was his running backs. He could have used Nick Chubb or Saquon to maybe go get an elite wide receiver, and then like his team would have been real solid, But now, hopefully maybe he can still do that with Saquon, but obviously I'm just worried, maybe I don't know if he has enough to make that type of move anymore.
I think, Dev.
I got to go 2 weeks in a row, Mark, man. It's just our offense just looks like shit. And I mean, he's got Olave, Juwan Johnson, and Derek Carr. Alexander Madison
Went all in.
Yeah, Alexander Madison does not look good. Dalvin Cook, it's not going to get any easier for him. Brees is going to eventually just take that over, and just they look like they've already given up, man. The defense didn't look like, they had that inspirational win the first game because of everything that was going down at home. Odell's hurt again. He's literally one more injury away from just catastrophe, honestly. Like,
I mean,
if one of his dudes, it could get bad. Like if Mostert gets hurt, dude, it's not looking good for Mark, man.
I don't like to say this because obviously with fantasy anything can happen, trades, waivers, but like unless something drastic happens for Mark, I think it's pretty safe he's going to be the Sacco this year.
Yeah,
like it seems that
bad. It's too early for anyone to get that title, but I'm concerned about both of those teams. Not going to repeat anything. Just some signs of hope for Brian, man.
Brian's not in as bad a spot as you think.
No, he's not in the worst spot.
Zay Flowers looks good, man. He looks like he's the clear one. And if Jordan Love can continue to ball the way he's balling, but there is a lot of concern on that side, man. Drake London's not going to do what he did week 1, and he's not going to do what he did this week. It's somewhere in the middle. So like
11, 10, 12 points probably.
exactly. Yeah, there's just not. It's not that they're not going to throw the ball that much, you know. And so like,
And I've also been really kind of almost shocked with Michael Pittman's performance. I want to say it's not the last, but like Richardson doesn't look bad. So and they got a
Isn't he
connection,
hurt
man.
now though? He has a concussion, right?
yeah,
I don't
but I mean,
know the protocol
this
there.
like healthy wise though, when he's healthy,
Yeah.
he's shown out.
And I just think
Yeah.
Jamar Gibbs is eventually like they drafted him first, so like
Yeah.
I don't think
He'll
Brian's
take over eventually.
They've
Hold
been very, very conservative with his, welcome party.
It's gonna be tough for Brian, but I think there's a lot worse teams than his moving
Yeah.
forward.
All right. I think we're all going to agree on this one, so I'm just going to say it. I think we have to say the injury that'll have the most impact is Chubb. I mean, I don't know if there's another one out there.
Yeah,
So
the only other one I would say is Saquon, but his is like very minor. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah,
And I mean, that's why I have Brian as the team. I don't know how he'll recover. Like, I mean, obviously he still has pieces, but
Mhm.
like when you lose someone like Nick Chubb, like that's tough.
yeah. Devin, I'll ask you this because I think I know your answer. You kind of hinted at it. Who do you think is going to have the biggest bounce back game?
AJ calling it 202. It's happening.
I definitely can see it, man.
I can too.
He's due. He's due. Little Matt, who you got?
Biggest bounce back game. I have actually Trevor Lawrence. He, didn't play terribly week 1, but last week I didn't watch the game, and now I'm kind of learning after talking with you that he was a lot closer to having a better game than the stats kind of give.
He was.
So, I mean, I still think that offense is like very, very good, if not possibly elite this season. I think they're going to have a top 8 offense worse. So, I mean, they have weapons. I think Trevor will be fine. I think, especially like their matchup this week, I think they play Houston.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so let me just butt in, and this is just I want to elaborate on this, but this is strictly for like fantasy football analysis talk. The past few years, Houston is so bad that the quarterbacks, you would think that they would ball out, but they don't do anything because they don't have to. So I'm not as high on Trevor.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It could be he throws 2 or 3 touchdown passes in the first half, and that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, temper your expectations on that because
that's a good point. That is a good point.
It could be also like this is another week where all 4 of Ross's Jags don't hit.
Right.
So Ross is going to need those commanders again to like get him over the hill. So I can see that happening.
I can see the Jags defense outscoring Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean?
Because the D'Amico has them playing decent defense. That week 1, you kind of saw it with against the Ravens.
So last thing I'll say is that I mean I don't disagree whatsoever.
No, I'm just throwing that.
But it's a good candidate. Yeah. I could see him having a good game too.
For sure.
Yeah, the reason I think that would kind of help towards his benefit is just because the Jaguars are so pass heavy. Like everything Doug Peterson has said is that he wants to, passing game is going to be an extension of the running game essentially.
Yeah,
totally. For me, I have one of my former guys, man, and I think it's Alexander Madison, man. I think the Chargers Vikings game is going to be high scoring. I think Kirk's going to get them in the red zone. I could see a 2 touchdown game out of Madison bounce back for sure. I think that game's going to be in the 30s. So for me, it's Alexander Madison. 2 pretty awful weeks or just decent weeks, but like the first week was okay, but last week was pretty bad. But I think he should have a good bounce back for you, Mark. All right. Moving on to running backs for this week's highest scoring running back, week 3 bonus, man. I think I know who everyone's going to say, but Lil Matt, who do you think is going to be the highest scoring running back this week?
I honestly, I don't know. I would assume maybe Christian
Someone-
McCaffrey, just throw that out there. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah, that's who I'm
Safe bet,
thinking.
I
Like,
guess.
I think that's
I
the
didn't really look into this one. So yeah, Christian McCaffrey. I don't know who they're playing, but I mean he's a safe bet.
all right, I got you, Serge. I looked into it, and obviously Chris McCaffrey is,
Yeah.
easy, layup. And the reason is they're playing the Giants, and their Giants are going all the way across the country to San Francisco. They just put everything in
Yeah.
them to barely win against the fucking Cardinals.
yeah.
And I could just see that being a shellacking. But I'm gonna put this one in there just to not be like, the
Easy one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Pollard. Pollard against Arizona. I think that obviously we know what Dallas's defense does, and look, Arizona's been pretty competitive, but I think that I could just see Pollard just ripping off like too long with the dude. Like I just
I like Pollard.
I think if it's not Christian McCaffrey, I think it's Pollard for sure.
So I have two. It's actually two of our guys, Devin. I'm worried about Burrow playing. I think the Bengals could lean on Joe Mixon this week. I think he's a candidate to maybe be the highest scoring. And I also think on my side, I think they're going to incorporate that Steelers pass rush is pretty ferocious. So I think Jacobs has a very sneaky week this week. Could find himself getting a lot of receptions and also maybe finding the end zone. So for me, obviously I think McCaffrey every week is going to be in play for highest scoring running back, but just two like dark horses. I think Mixon or Jacobs could get it done for us, Dev.
Yeah, cool. Try.
Hopefully Mixon, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break from fantasy. We're going to do a rapid fire real football. Okay, guys. So real quick, Devin, who do you think is going to be the last undefeated team?
Well, I definitely thought this was about fantasy. So
Okay.
So the last undefeated team?
Yeah.
Can you just throw out who we got right now?
Then we got the Niners, Cowboys. We got the Saints. We got the Eagles. We got the Dolphins. Who I missed? We got the Ravens.
I haven't really looked into the schedules or anything, but I mean, it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be really tough to beat the 49ers or the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
But I think until the playoff, well, even in the playoffs, I could see. I'm going to go with the 49ers, man.
Yeah. 49ers are my pick. I looked at the schedule. Week 5, they actually play the Cowboys. So one of them is going to get eliminated from it.
Man, that'll be nice.
That's going to be a great game.
That's going to be nice.
So I like the 49ers. The Dolphins got to play the Bills. So I think the Dolphins could maybe lose one. And I hate to say it, guys, but like the schedule is in our favor. Like,
yeah,
I'm not. The schedule is in the Saints' favor, and like
this is going to be the toughest. This is going to be the toughest game so far.
We don't travel. We don't travel up north well historically. We know that, but
it's usually during the winter, isn't it?
At least it's not going to be cold.
bad.
Yeah.
So like it's not that cold in Wisconsin right now. So I think we can maybe sneak away a victory.
Yeah.
But our defense has to continue to play elite. They have been.
Okay. Little Matt, who do you think is going to be the last winless team in the league?
So can you run off the teams for me?
Jesus, guys.
I thought it was fantasy too.
Cardinals, Panthers, Bears, Chargers, Vikings.
So the easy choice is probably the Cardinals because they obviously don't have their quarterback, and I mean they were pretty okay last year, and it looks like all their moves are pretty much saying that they're looking to maybe bring in a new quarterback, aka Caleb Williams. So I think that's an easy one to say, but I'm also gonna I'm gonna just go to Bears. Like I don't like what I've been seeing from them. I was a fan of Justin Fields. I hope he turns it around, but they play the Chiefs this week, right? So they're gonna lose that. Yeah, and I don't know who they play the week after, but I mean, I just really don't like what I've been seeing from them. So I think they're gonna at least go 0-3.
Yeah.
I'll say either the Cardinals or Houston. And three-way tie, I'll say Carolina, dude. I just we're kind of making everybody look good right now, but Carolina does not look good, man. Like they just do not look good. I don't know. So, but I'd
Yeah.
have to say the answer
I
the
need
Cardinals
weapons.
just because the Cardinals just seem like they're trying at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like a 20-point lead. So
I mean, my gut is telling me, sorry, Devin, but my gut is telling me the Bears. I think they're on like a 14-game losing streak.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Crazy.
So if I had to pick one right now, it'd probably be the Bears. But we'll see. Who's y'all early season? Who y'all think's going to get this Coach of the Year based on what y'all seen?
Hmm.
I'll start this one then. Right now, I'm leaning Mike McDaniel or Kyle Shanahan. I think they have paths to get it done. If somehow McVay can get this Rams team in the playoffs, I think McVay can also be in contention.
that's going to be tough.
But
Yeah.
I'm going like powerhouse. So I think if McDaniel can win the AFC East, man, I think it's gonna be tough not to give it to him. And Kyle Shanahan, man, he's a beast.
Yeah. I was thinking Kyle Shanahan as well. Like, I mean, just what the 49ers have built, man, is so impressive. And I think they're going to be so dangerous this year.
What always gets them those injuries, though. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, they got to hope for that. Like it's gotten them to last like fucking maybe
5
5
years,
6 years. Yeah. So like there's hopefully it doesn't, but if it doesn't,
yeah.
I'm just gonna throw this out there just because I love them, but I'm gonna say
Dennis Allen.
Where was I? No, I'm gonna just hope that Detroit turns it around and Dan Campbell gets in there, man. He's deserving.
Yeah, because if he can get the Lions in the playoffs, that's definitely worth getting rewarded for.
And are the Commanders 2-0?
They are, man.
Well, don't forget about Riverboat Ron, man.
Yeah. All right, back to fantasy. Who y'all think's most likely to start 3-0?
I got
This
Al.
is an easy one. Yeah, Al.
Al.
Yeah.
Al. Fucking lucky dog. Yeah. Most likely to start 0-3.
Another easy one. It's Mark.
I got me. I think Mark and dude. No. I was looking at all these matchups. Like
Mark's got a chance this week.
Dude, we have some really close matchups, and like it was hard for me. Like when I was doing my like pick'ems, it was hard for me for like what do we have 2, 4, 6, 6. Like for the 6 games, I was just like, dude, this is kind of difficult. But so yeah, I don't think it's easily Mark. I'm going with me. I think Serge beats me, and I go 0-3.
I'm going Brian. Brian plays Mark this week. I think it's going to be tough to win this first one without both his studs. I think Mark just finds a way to pull one out.
And that's what I was saying. Like when I was going up and down, just looking at these players, I was like, well, if this guy's questionable, it's really early. Like a lot of things can happen from now to Sunday. So like, it's just kind of hard. Like if we did this on Thursday, it'd be easier. But
it'd be more accurate.
Like looking at everything right now, I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like this guy's questionable. This guy, so we'll see. But I got me going 0-3 for sure, and that's what I think.
All right, now to the grand finale. Let's get our early.
I want to piss real quick.
All right.
Sorry, man. These White Claws got me about to piss my drawers.
Matt's over there throwing back the Coronas, man.
Yeah, no line, fucking nerd.
I didn't have time to stop at the store.
Yeah, whatever. You're uncultured swine. Shut up.
I am. I'm living in Indiana, of all places.
That is the perfect place for you.
Jeez. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up with our early picks of the week. I'll start with the battle of 0-2 teams. Brian versus Mark. I already said mine. I think Mark's going to pull it out. Who y'all think got that one?
I'm going Brian.
Yeah, I got Brian too, dude.
Yeah,
I got Brian.
much more impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Brian, and like I said, it's just, I mean, dude, if you look at that matchup, man, it's just like it's tough, but you know, like I don't know, it's I don't know, it's just it could really go either fucking way, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun one to watch. If I would say if that's not the prime, like if the brothers weren't the primetime game, I'd say like the battle of the 0 and 2s, like
The
that'd be
big
a
one.
good primetime
We got
game to
some good
me.
matchups, man.
We
The next
do.
one I have is uh Kyle. Can Kyle knock off the defending back-to-back champ after his, record-breaking performance against Little Matt?
I actually do. I have Kyle winning this game. I have him like following up that impressive victory with another victory. I was very impressed with Kyle's team last week. He beat my
Yeah.
ass, and it was well deserving.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have Kyle winning too. I think this is another one, dude. That's like two of the best quarterbacks. And
Mhm.
again, I don't know what's going on with Aaron Jones. But Rashad White and Zach Moss both have tough matchups. CD Keenan are going to do their thing. But I think that Jair is going to kind of follow Olave around. So I think that could open things up for Michael Thomas and especially Rashid.
Mhm.
So I have Kyle by the slightest of margins.
Yeah, this is unanimous. I'm also going Kyle, man. I like the momentum going into this week.
You know what's
Uh,
going to happen now.
yeah,
You know
good
what's
job,
going to happen
Vincent.
now. Yep, way to go.
Uh,
3-0, you bastard.
all right, so I think we all agree on the next one since we all agreed he's the most likely to go 3-0. Al versus Eli. I
Yeah,
think Al takes care of business. It's still up in the air if Eckler is going to play,
yeah, yeah.
and also Burrow. So like for me, it's
Yeah.
Al all the way.
Yeah. And then I mean AJ Dillon, he's got Dawson Knox as a flex. You got George Kittle, Chris. I mean, yeah, it's looking pretty bleak for old Ian.
Yep.
Oh, Ian.
Um, I'll let little Matt start this one. Who do you think's going to pull out the Devin versus Surge matchup?
So, Devin, you're actually going to be a little surprised by this one, but I do have you winning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like nothing against you, Serge. I do think Devin is built for a little bit more better luck. I think he's going to
Hmm.
build on an AJ Brown monster week.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're
Respect
going
it.
to win more games, but I do think Justin Fields fantasy wise will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna have a bounce back week. I think he's gonna steal it from you. I think your team overall will be fine though, Serge, with the 1 and 2
Okay.
stuff.
I sense some retaliation for power rankings,
Yeah.
but
I
I
actually
respect
I
it.
swear to God, I wrote that down before you even said that.
I'll jump in here. I'll jump in here and I'll just say, little Matt, I appreciate that, but you just confirmed like
The jinx. You
well,
jinxed
no,
it.
you just confirmed that which I
You're
already
not
know
winning a game.
at how
It's
stupid you
reverse
are.
psychology.
No, it's you just confirmed how stupid you are to me. Like, come on. Like, come on,
Man,
dog. Don't like just don't.
that's why I can't, I try to be nice to people and it just
Don't
doesn't.
but that don't give me false hope. I read through the bullshit. All right, I know what you're doing, and
Okay. I'll let that slide.
all
I
right.
think he's a little salty because I kicked his ass in another
Look,
one.
some of the matchups are in
We
my
don't talk about
favor
other leagues.
for sure. Some of the matchups are in my favor. I will say that. I think
This is more of a
projections.
gut call. This is more of a gut
I
call.
don't like the Fields against Kansas City, but I do think they're going to be down, which could help his fantasy production. So like, I don't know, man. It's just
It's a
no
tricky
Jamal.
matchup.
No Jamal is going to thin you out a little bit.
So,
Um,
so
One
like the
thing that I'm
worst.
also worried about is it's really hard for rookie receivers to keep it up. And so, like, if Addison and Puka continue to do what they're doing, like, I think you have a legit shot. But, like, at some point, they have to come down, all right? Like, and
I agree. I think Addison's more of a candidate for that, at least until Cooper Cup comes back. I think Puka will continue
yeah,
to eat at least until Cooper
yeah,
comes back. But
they're
and
feeding in the ball, man. They're feeding it to him. Like, geez.
he had like what 15 targets again.
Yeah,
It's
like, completely just like leapfrog Van Jefferson, who everyone thought would be the guy, but like, geez, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't see it. Congrats, Serge. I'm 0-3. Fuck you. I will come back. I will come back.
All right. Our last one before we talk about the primetime game. I got number one power rankings, Ross versus Matt. Does Ross stay undefeated, guys?
I got Matt.
I
I got
agree. I
Matt.
got Matt.
I got Matt in a surprise victory here because of what I said earlier.
About Houston? Yeah.
I just think that like they're not going to need to really do anything, dude. You know, and he's got 4 of them in there. You know, and look, Jerome Ford, that was awesome what he did, but Tennessee's got a stout little front, and
Yeah.
they'll be able to game plan. Nobody was game planning to play against Jerome Ford, you know. So
Yeah.
I think
I'm
Nico.
gonna take a different angle. See, I think I'm with you on the Jags Houston potential for that to happen. But for me, it's the matchup Commanders against the Bills. And I don't think he's going to get that production from Terry and Brian against the
Yeah.
Bills. I think they're going to do okay, but I just don't know if he's going to get enough to be able to sneak one out versus Matt, especially with the pretty mediocre Tyreek game. And Jalen Waddle is still is like up in the air in concussion protocol. So like
Yeah.
Tyreek could have one of his games. So for
The
me,
only thing that there's 2 things that concern me for Matt is that one, Brees is playing New England, and you know what Bill likes to do. He likes to shut down their best players. So is that at this point Garrett Wilson, or in my
but bro,
opinion,
Salah, they gave Brees only 4 carries.
what was that about, man?
That was nuts.
Like you have to
know.
think he's at minimum he's going to double that.
I think they just were like, look, we're not winning this game. Why risk our best player, our future,
Maybe.
our franchise? Like that's what
Maybe.
that's truly what I think. Like, why risk it? You know?
Maybe.
I think he does need to fall kind of in that 8 to 10 touches kind of realm. I mean, but even if he does, he's obviously shown the talent to where he can still explode. You
Yeah.
know,
I think Jalen has a good week this week because, like I said, Tampa Bay's been, you know, pretty surprising on offense. Their defense is still pretty meh. Tyreek's going to do Tyreek. Najee, I think he has a bounce back week against Las Vegas. Kyle Pitts, I mean, you might as well just bench him. Again, this is going to be a close game, dude. It's going to be
It is. And then you see, you scroll down, even like Marquise Brown, I think the Cowboys are going to be up early. I think Dobbs is going to have to throw the ball, you know?
Do you know what I'm noticing right now? If Ross doesn't make any changes, his entire day is going to be over by 3:00.
Dude, that's what happened to me this week.
Wow.
I hate it. 12:00 games are the fucking worst,
bro,
dude.
I had my entire team, which made the second round of games like an eternity. Like
I'm calling it right now, Matt's win, because if you have all 9 of your players playing at noon and he's got prime time, like, no, there's no way. There's no fucking way. No way. Sorry, Ross.
It's gonna be a tough one for Ross to get, but he's proved us wrong these first 2 weeks, so it's gonna be a good one, man. But
he's due.
Last but not least, we have our
Battle of the Bros.
We have our Brother Bowl, our annual Brother Bowl, which is always entertaining. We have Dave versus Little Matt in our primetime slot.
Yep. Always deadly.
Yeah, so I'll start this one off, man. Like I said, man, rankings aside, I really like your team. I think on paper and from what I've seen, I think you have a better team than Dave. My one concern, which I've talked to you this week about, is there's always concern that Lamar Jackson can have one of his crazy games.
Yeah.
And if he has one of those crazy games and Christian McCaffrey does his crazy things, Dave can get one by you. But if I had to pick as of right now, I'm giving it to you this week. I think you give Dave his first loss of the season, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think you're going to be able to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm projected to blow him out right now, but I agree. I don't think I will blow him out. I I am kind of expecting a better Lamar Jackson week. I'm just hoping it's not the 40-point game like we mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, I do think he will play very well against the Colts, and I think McCaffrey will be McCaffrey. I don't know about Swift. I don't think he'll be that guy like we
No,
saw.
Swift's gonna come back. He's gonna come down to earth, man.
Yeah. And
He's gonna
then,
come down to earth.
again, we talked about Hopkins and,
Yeah.
maybe Amari Cooper will be back, and Amari Cooper's pretty solid. So I think Dave will be good. I think it's just all completely dependent on how Lamar does. If Lamar doesn't have that explosive week, then he could struggle to put up maybe 120, if even 115,
Are you
done?
agreeing? Are you agreeing with him?
You done?
Who
Okay. All right. Look, I last week was tough. Okay. It was tough, but it was great because I actually picked you to win. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire life, was like, speak the words, you're going to win. But then you got your fucking ass whooped. So that was cool. This week, look, I'm not going to say anything because I just can't bring myself to doing it again. So I'm going to just do this. And that's it.
I love it.
I'm not elaborating. Not elaborating, but
I love it. Hey, I like playing the villain. And I've said before, my character is Loki.
It's corny. It's corny that you keep saying that. So stop saying it.
It's okay. It's my favorite Marvel character. So I mean, I enjoy it. And it's the Brother Bowl. I think Dave beat my ass last year, honestly. I don't think I beat him at all last year. So it would be a nice change of pace to kick his ass this year.
I don't know if you beat anybody last year.
I did beat people last year. I beat your ass, so you can stop that.
We'll see, guys. It's been fun. I've enjoyed the shut the fucks up from Devin. I think we're in double digits already.
I need to up that next time, if there is a next time.
You got me.
I don't know if I'll be invited back, so I mean, I have to take advantage of it while I can.
Yeah. Well, until I don't know, contract negotiations or whatever's happening with my co-host Matt, we may have to force to see you again, little Matt, which is kind of upsetting, but
it's awesome. I love making people upset.
No, like I could literally. No, we just don't need to do that. We can double down on somebody.
I mean, you don't have to, but if I win,
can you just mute him?
It's going to be the first year of your life, Devin.
Like,
first year of your life.
I want to end on a positive note. I got word today from the league executives that ratings are up, scoring is up. So I just want to say collectively this offseason, we agreed on a few changes to the league. The bonuses have been a big success, as well as the triple flex. So just want to give a shout out to our Players Association for agreeing on something and innovating and pushing the league forward. It's been successful so far. And hopefully I can win $20 at some point.
And I'll follow up with that. I think there will be more changes, Serge. I know we've kind of hinted or talked about some things as far as the waivers and stuff. I know we got a long way to go, but look, that's what makes this league great. We never stop talking. There's always dialogue. There's always banter. There's always side talk of how we can make this league better. And I think we have every year. I mean, we started on that fucking NFL app on our Razor phones, and look at us now. We're on fucking all right, we got to get this. All right, look, I'm gonna wrap it up. Look, I love y'all. Good luck, but I'm still fuck all y'all's teams. Actually, no, that's not football for me. I hope y'all all do so well. I love you all, and y'all are great,
except for Matt.
No, you.
I love that the last thing we both get to see, Devin, is a black cat before we go to sleep, which is I don't know if that's
Halloween, almost Halloween. You gotta get the spirit.
So there's that.
Well, yep, there is that.
All right. Well, we'll see, man. It's Tuesday night. Tomorrow we'll wake up, look at some waiver action, see what transactions happen, and Thursday night we'll be here before we know it, and we're already 3 weeks in. So this thing, once it gets going, it moves pretty fast. So hopefully we see some good things, and hopefully we can win this week. One of us. I mean, obviously, one of us will win.
One of us
But
will win.
We
Yep.
all three of us had a tough week. So good
And
luck to y'all.
one of us will definitely lose.
One of us will lose.
One of us will definitely fucking lose.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck. God bless. I love y'all.
That's all I got, man. Peace
My
out, bro.
pleasure. All right.
Later.
Love you. Fuck you, Matt.
Later. Love you,
Matt.
Devin. I love you, Devin.
Hey, fuck off. Shut the fuck up.
You know you love me. You miss me.